Okay, so the next section here is about SAP BI 2025 migration best practices. So over the years, I think over the past, 18 years, we've been putting together methodologies of upgrading, doing migrations, and we're quite well known for that, using multiple steps, leveraging Wiiisdom solutions. I will have Kevin address that.
Yep. Again, if you're considering a move to BI 2025 or just planning a migration from 4.2 to 4.3 or whatever it is, we have some really proven strategies and steps that will help it smooth out and get your future ready. So the big words there is automate wherever possible, and 360 Suite can certainly help you with that. The big question is, how do I get there from here? Well, you can use a pogo stick and you can try to jump over the cavern without a strategy. But hey, guess what? We have a proven strategy. So let's hit that next one. And believe it or not, a lot of companies try to migrate without a solid strategy.
So
So
on that is we put a strategy in 12 steps, which are broken down in four different parts: audit and cleanup, access, and the readiness, optimize and archive, and automate where it's possible. And then we'll go essentially, this is broken down into 12 different steps. So Kevin, I let you cover that. And
first
then, by the
step,
way, will you be able to share the reports?
absolutely.
Okay, so I'll keep the deck and I'll let you do the
Yeah,
rest. So you share whenever you want.
I'm
Okay.
going to go ahead and share now, by the way, just so I can get that out of the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where did your where did your presentation go, Bruno? I lost it for some
Okay,
reason.
you are in 360 here.
Yeah, but I can't see your presentation.
Well, I'm on step one, so just tell me when you want me to move on, Kevin.
Yeah. Step one. Well, I need to see it. I'd like to see it if I could. Is that
My
is that
screen is still sharing, so I don't know.
Let me stop sharing.
Okay,
There we
so
go.
here, well, that is the step one.
Well, the first step, back up your environment before you do anything. Guys, back up your platform. It affords you, it's your safety net. Anytime you're going to do a migration, you're going to be doing the stuff Bruno's been talking about, cleaning up and moving things around and getting it ready to migrate back up for sure. This gives you the ability with at least 360 Suite. It gives you the ability to restore at the object level in case something happens to go wrong, and it very well may. Some things could be deleted that shouldn't be, and such. And we even have the ability to recover deleted objects from the 360 Suite recycle bin. And the 360 Suite recycle bin is, like I say, it's like the recycle bin for the business objects recycle bin. Point being, back up your environment. Let's go to step two. Document all objects. This is where I'm going to actually show some things from 360 Suite. Document object counts, object size, scheduling activity, relational connections, reports, and universes. Understand object usage and non-usage, especially non-usage, I mean, even non-usage. With 360 Suite, we not only can show you what's been used, but we can show you what hasn't been used. And here's a couple examples that I'm going to show you right now when I share my screen. So bear with me and we will
Yeah,
do it.
and it's critical to be documenting all your objects. So,
Here we,
okay, so we do see your screen right now.
yep, here it is. So we talked about a couple things on that slide is know your business objects connection details. You're probably going to want to get a comprehensive list of, your connection names. This is the IDT or your universe relational connection name. You can see the network layer, whether it's using ODBC, Oracle OCI, JDBC, etc. You can see the database types and the actual data source and the connection database user. How wonderful it is to have something like this when you're migrating, because you need to be able to replicate or at least substantiate the replication on the other side. Object counts and sizes. Sure, exactly. This at a very high level, root folder, which is public documents. You need to know how many documents you have and how many instances, and the document size and the instance size gives you the opportunity then to pare down. From a folder level, we can do object counts and sizes from a folder level. Same thing, document counts, instance counts, and sizes. But the idea there is object counts and sizes. Scheduling. I need to make this one a little bit bigger, I think. Scheduling, everything about your schedules, whether they're in a failure status, whether they're completed, whether what time or what day the schedule begins, when it ends, and the schedule durations, all of these things should be considered because guess what? If you have a lot of schedules that are in um, a paused state and haven't been run and are not scheduled, guess what? It's time to think about archiving them and getting rid of them. Document use and non-use, 360 Suite again. Here's your document name, action count. Last action date is over here. And this is a good way to gauge what's going on with your
And these
document.
are all Webby documents, right?
These are
Like
all Webby
Wiiisdom.
documents. Yes, they are. And I don't know why that's there, but anyway, universe use. Yeah, same thing. But as by universe, the suite will show you total universe objects used, and a ratio. So this gives you then the opportunity to take a look at, well, maybe some of these universes have a very low usage rate. And you can see here usage ratio on a couple of these is 0. Why would I want to migrate those if they're not being used anymore? And take it a little bit one step further, even down to the universe object level, use versus non-use. The 360 Suite reports will show you use over here, yellow, and these objects are not used, flagged really clearly so you can see.
And
Again,
this is very critical because you might not want to be um, to be migrating, what's not used in the past 13 months. So,
what's the point, right? The whole idea is to save time, energy, and some costs. There you go. So let's go to the next slide. That kind of takes care of that. Yeah.
okay, you
Step
want to,
three.
yep, good. So you're on step number 2 right now.
We're ready to go to step number 3.
Okay, so I thought I was okay. I think I was seeing your screen. Just hold on. Okay,
Yeah, I
got it.
got you.
Okay, so here, let's go to step number 3. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
here we are.
Yep. BI 2025 ready. As we've been talking about, there's some things that are going away. Meet the BI 2025 requisites in order to start the migration. Convert your UNVs to UNX. Why UNVs are no longer supported? They will not work. In fact, the Universe Designer tool is not even available in BI 2025. Identify those multi-source universes. Data federation is not even available in 2025, etc. Locate, maybe you've used Lumira, Discovery, or any of these OLAP or for analysis for OLAP. Oh, by the way, Live Office, maybe some of that content is still, and those applications are still in your environment. Well, you need to prepare. So locate unsupported content and gather usage and connection information from those things because it's best practice. Slide 4.
Okay, so
This is you,
and
Bruno.
so what's critical here as well is, as we've covered before, is you need to go from UNV to UNX. And actually, we put together a framework on doing that. Of course, you start with a backup after you do the audit that actually Kevin has shown. Here, the advantage, what's used, not used, and what's not used, and actually you can archive it and eventually delete it. That's your call. On the top of it as well, just make sure that you document everything you have so you know the exact how many counts of objects you have so that once you've done all your conversion, you've got the same amount on both sides. Of course, after that, you convert your UNV to UNX, and then you do this in bulk. You do the same thing in bulk for the repointing from your Webby documents. Of course, it's public and personal. And at the end is you need to validate through some regression testing. And then we've got some actually on the slide here, if you want, is we've actually done a previous webinar with SAP on that topic that is available on YouTube. Step number 4.
Yep. Again, the goal is to understand objects that are never used in terms of reports and universes. Did you know 60% of the organization's content hasn't been used in the past 13 months or somewhere around that line? 60%. What an opportunity to shave some of that stuff off. Identify the content, minimize the migration effort. The migration effort's going to be fairly significant anyway. Why drag all that stuff around if you don't have to? The old content can be archived or deleted. Yeah. So again, 360 Suite and the reports I've showed you, full scale collection of Webby documents that shows used and non-used content in
And
business
it's
objects.
critical to do the cleanup because you're going to save a lot of time for your migration, all your future upgrades as well in terms of governance. It is an issue because if you got old content that you shouldn't have, well, you're better off to remove it on it. And then if you go to PC as well, that's also a good thing to make sure that you clean up your content. After that, you maintain that it's green. So, okay, step number 5.
Yep. Unused content, as it says, it consumes space. If you're on a cloud and you're paying money for cloud space, space is money. Space is costly. So unneeded content is going to cause extra cost. Used content creates additional work during the migration process. We already talked about that. Unused content increases storage, especially when, and I just mentioned that, when it's located on the cloud. Here's some options. 360 Suite, pseudo archive. What we do is we identify documents that haven't been used or haven't ever been used in a long time. We can pseudo archive them. Basically, pseudo archiving means hiding. We hide it and we isolate the content from the general user community. Only the business objects administrator has access to it and can manage that hidden content, but your users will not see it. It gives you the opportunity then to allow the users to experience the absence of that content, and maybe if they might come back in a month or 2 months and ask for it, where is it? I used to use this report 6 months ago. You have the ability as an administrator to unarchive it quickly. And you can also archive outside of BO and delete the content from the platform. Next slide. All right, baseline for regression testing. This is 360 Suite has 360 Bind, which is our regression analysis. We can show you Webby documents before a change and a snapshot of the same document after a change. That gives you an opportunity. For instance, if you're going 4.3 to BI 2025, does your documents on the target system, are they performing? Is the data the same? Is the pixelation the same? Is the performance of the refresh rates the same? You can set points of reference in a regression test. And I'll show you I'll show you the results of a regression test. Maybe I should do that now, Bruno. What do you think?
I think you should do it now, and it's really critical.
Let's do it.
It is critical that you do regression testing. The reason behind is actually on a past webinar, we had a telco company in Canada that was sharing their use case going to BI 2025 and all the time they had saved and errors that they had found. It is critical that you do it because it's going to be the guarantee that your documents are the same. You're not investing money into Bobjet and doing all these migrations to have regressions. And if there's any issues, the first thing you're going to hear is your business is going to complain to you. And to be fair, there are good reasons. So you'd better make sure that you test everything. And then once you've done that for BI 2025, the nice thing is you can schedule it so that you can run it on a regular basis, whether it's every day, every week. It's all automated. It's going to tell you there's a regression. So, Kevin, we are seeing your screen right now,
Yeah,
or
this is
very
an
good.
example. This is an example of a common regression analysis on a Webby document. On the left side is BO 4.3, the Webby from BO 4.3. On the right side is BI 2025. The regression analysis will do actual numerical comparisons. Yep, actual numerical data analysis, and it will highlight where the numbers are not the same. All the orange numbers that you see are different from source to target environment. It'll also do pixelation analysis And let's see here. In an analytical view, I can show you over here all the cells. It goes down into the cell level, the header level, the footer level, anything that has to do with pixelation, size, font sizes, graphs, and it will highlight what is different. And you can see in this particular uh, here's some more numerical values that are incorrect. So anyway, good regression analysis is a best standard practice on any kind of change in your BO platform. So this is an example of 360 suite regression analysis.
Okay, so let's move on here.
Yep,
Let's go to step number 7.
yep. Yeah, the migrations take time. The pitfalls they take time. Um, Weeks, months, sometimes. It's not really possible to migrate everything at once. So, BusinessObjects has some limitations with the migration, the promotion management tool, if you will. Um, so we have 360 Suite that offers a more robust promotion management capability. We use individual buyer files at the object level. It results in a faster and easier promotion. And as Bruno just said, these things can be scheduled to run, after hours and such. But the whole idea here is object level promotion versus a giant bulk LCM buyer file or a CMS to CMS complete.
And then there's one thing that's great as well is we can even handle Delta because as you promote things, your environments are changing, and then we've got Delta modes to see what has changed. So
That's true. Yeah. What you promote today, some of the other content is being worked on today, so you have to do a delta.
and that is very, very powerful. Step number 8, validate the migration.
Yep. We talked about it a little bit. Validate it with regression testing. I just showed you how you can validate a report before and after a change. So it'll search for missing objects. Yeah, I didn't cover that, but it will actually highlight if objects were in the report before and if they're not afterwards. So it'll compare scheduling and performance in the Webby documents. So down here a little bit further, we can test and compare over time across environments and across versions. And the very bottom part is really what I just demoed. How do you do this? You generate two instances of the Webby of the same report, and then you have documentation. The regression task will actually provide documentation, not just the nice visual that I showed you, but it will have documentation so you can share everything that's wrong or right with your stakeholders.
Yeah, to get feedback. Step number 9.
Yeah, we're going to fix impact objects. So this sometimes is manual, but most of the time it's not. So you can bulk fix impacted objects. I want to take an opportunity to show you one other report that we have, and we'll get there in just a minute. So, if an object is broken, or if you have here an invalid variable, the impact analysis reports can show you every report with that same variable, and you can go in and fix it. But I want to show you this here
And
real
you can
quick
do all that in bulk
in
through
bulk.
leveraging the impact analysis and then fixing that in bulk after.
Here
So,
we go. So this is a
okay.
report here, impact analysis, identify variables. Make it a little bit bigger for you guys, makes it easier. Document name here, variable name by the document. So these are the variables inside of this document called Volvo 60 document uses, whatever it is. I've got variables and the variable value. If perhaps chance something during your migration causes any of these expressions to become broken or obsolete in one way or another, this report will identify by variable name in every report where what this variable expression is, and it gives you the visibility to go in and focus and fix it. And that can be done in bulk also. This is another one, identify Webbies with custom SQL. Here's your Webby document name here, third column. Data provider, and is it custom SQL, yes or no? If it's no, fine, no problem. But if it's yes, These are things you want to take a look at before the migration, because after the migration, it's possible that some of these yeses with the custom SQL could contain hard-coded references to databases and
Very
things
good
of that
point.
nature. Yeah. So I want to be able to have visibility into all my Webby documents with custom SQL, and I want to be sure that I focus on those after the migration.
And by the way, on the regression testing, can it cover multi-page reports?
Yes, it can. Yes. Documents with multi-reports. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah. Feed it a document with 5 reports, and each report is analyzed or
Multi-page, and then you can run multiple
regression
documents at the
tested.
same time. Let's go to step number 10, optimize performance.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good on time. I think we caught up. Um, yeah, again, the performance optimized reports, looking at unused objects and removing them. We've talked about that again. Long-running queries have been the bane of my existence for a long time. So we want to make sure that we want to pare down those webbies that have an excessive number of columns and rows. It's just a good practice. We don't like reports that create long-running queries, and it upsets our DBAs when they have locked queries and such. So optimize your webbies. Step 11, um, yeah, step 11. So this one, we're taking a big leap into, Webby documents. Now we're talking about disaster recovery. Do you all have a disaster recovery? If you don't, it's a good idea to define one so you can recover or restore your BO at a specific time. You never know when the unknown will happen. VM copies, the hard block copies that are made on an environment, yeah, they're okay, but it's not really a backup strategy that you can initiate quickly. Um,
Yep.
360 Suite provides restoration, object restoration at the object level. So, for instance, if you have a certain group of reports that are corrupt or missing for whatever reason, or just plain broke, uh, you can recover those reports at the object level only. I don't have to ask my infrastructure team to restore the VM copy. I don't have to go to a huge LCM buyer file collection and cover and comb through all those details just to find 5 reports. I can use object level restoration with 360 Suite.
And the VM, to insist, it is not a DR strategy. And the reason behind that, if you have something that is corrupted, your VM is going to get corrupted. So that is actually why people leverage 360 and then use incremental capabilities to roll back to past versions and selectively restore even a specific object, let's say 5 versions ago. So that's very easy to do that on the fly. And then the last point is 360 disaster recovery solution automates actually the synchronization between your prod and your recovery site. It's something that we have so many federal organizations doing that because they've got A site, B site, and then they want to keep them in sync. Let's go to step number 12
Yep.
as the
Oh,
final step.
okay. Well, I'll skip my thing. I was just going to show us
No,
that we have 3 options for
no,
disaster
go for it.
recovery.
Go for it, Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. Rollback. This is a simple rollback, and you can choose uh, all of these processes.
Okay, on your
Uh,
screen. Yep.
You're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Excellent, excellent. Rollback. I can choose to roll back all of these objects. I can be selective with these objects. The second option here is disaster recovery with a simple replication. I have a production box. I have a business objects environment that's empty and waiting for us to restore it with this particular option automatically. And I can choose again to choose all of the objects, all of the classes of objects, or I can pick and choose. The third option is really the full synchronization. You have production business objects, and you have your backup that is in full synchronization with production. It's probably no more than 24 hours old. That one can be turned on immediately when the other one fails. And that's really all I wanted to show you here.
And then step number 12 here is critical. You've done all the cleanup before, well, just to keep it lean. So keep the good keep good habits of doing some cleanup on a regular basis. So that's what our customers do. Like they call it actually evergreen or auto clean, however you call it. Maintain high performance, just yeah, doing the cleanup. Just look at all the schedules that are causing issues. Just to locate them and fix them. All that is going to help you as well for all your future upgrades because if you've got something that's clean, that's performing right, it's you're not going to take that legacy over. As well as we've covered, of course, the archiving and cleanup. So yeah, do all the bulks there. Another critical thing is a lot of our customers, in particular in federal, anything that's related, in fact, is you need to get recertification going for SOC 1, for example, and or for SOC 2. I'm sorry about that. And here, what you're able to do is you're able to run all the recertification of users. So you want to document who hasn't logged in, who logged in, make sure that they're logging into the right content, and then provide that information to the business and then to the auditors. And you can do that just within a few clicks. You can even schedule that, and there are ways to automatically even remove users that are not connecting if you wish. But that is so critical. And the last part is all the snapshots that you have, all the regression testing is just keep it going, have it automated so that it runs every day or every week. So that is going to alert you if you've got some regressions, for example, maybe there is an ETL change or something that's going to cause a regression. So,
Yeah.
um,
At the very beginning of the slide, we said automation is key. So one of the things that Bruno talked about, I'll just pick on one, that's all. I know we have time
on
constraints.
your screen. Yep. Yep. Go
Purge
ahead.
Webby documents. This is a process that will it can be automated. You see over here on the left, we can schedule this to be recurring if we want, but this will purge those documents that have been saved with enormous amounts of data. And by default, Webby documents, after they're refreshed and after you exit, they can be saved automatically with that data. And most users don't even realize what they're doing, saving with data. So this is something here else I want to show you that is, there we go. So this is an example of an I360 suite report that shows Webby documents, the data provider count, and the document size. And so this report is really valuable when you want to first isolate or understand what is the extent of my 1,000 Webby documents in terms of those that have been saved with data. This is a report that'll do that. This task, however, will automate the purging, the frequent purging of those documents. And that's really all I just wanted to show is that, those two things. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Should we take some polls for
Question?
the CP
Sure.
credit,
Oh yeah,
Patrick?
yeah, we got to do that.
Sure, absolutely. And looks like first we actually have Matthias has their hand raised in the chat. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like Matthias might have a question. So I'll be sure to grant you permission to speak real quick, Matthias.
Okay, uh, well,
I
let's go
don't
to the
see that.
polls,
Yeah,
Patrick.
yeah.
All right, sure, sounds good. Matthias, if you have that question again, feel free to raise your hand again. But
We'll
yeah,
put in
we
the
can.
chat and I'll answer.
Sure, sounds
Yeah, but
good. And we'll
Yeah.
go to the ninth CPE question, and it actually goes back to what David was covering earlier. So, which components are explicitly not supported in BI 2025?
Is it Crystal Reports Classic? Is it Lumira Discovery? Or is it Webby? Crystal Report Classics, are they support yes, or is it Lumira or Webby? So which components are explicitly not supported in BI 2025? So
All
I know
right.
that Crystal is still used a lot. Webby, of course, is still used a lot. So, um, well, let's get the answer here.
All right. This one looks like it's going to be a bit closer than our other polls.
I
Allow
can
it.
see that. I can see why. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Should be
allow a few
confusing.
more
So,
folks to.
yeah,
Yep, but by and far, it looks like the most of our attendees have said it's Lumira, and it looks like
Lumira, yeah,
Yeah,
Discovery, right.
Lumira's winning
Good.
by about 80%.
Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say like on Lumiere, right? There's Lumiere Discovery and Lumiere Designer, right? So
Yes,
Lumiere Discovery is not supported, but Lumiere Designer con
is supported.
is still continued to be supported, although they haven't yet released. They're getting ready to release the Lumiere Designer for BI 2025. It's actually not yet released, but it will be
Mm,
in March for those
okay.
that are using Lumiere Designer.
Let's go for the next question for the CPE.
All right, let's do it. Question 10. Which crystal variant remains supported with BI 2025?
Is it Crystal Reports Classic, Crystal Reports Enterprise, neither, or only Cloud Crystal? Well, I have to say I came up with that question. So sometimes you got to be creative. So what is supported with BI 2025? Is it Crystal Reports Classic, Crystal Reports Enterprise, or none of them, or Cloud Crystal? Are you letting me know if that one exists? So well, um, what are the results of that one?
Sure, so this one was even closer. It seems like 66% said Crystal Reports Classic and 29% said Crystal Reports Enterprise. So definitely closer than our previous
Yeah, so it
question.
is really Crystal Report Classic that is going to be supported, of course.
Awesome. Sounds good. I'll go ahead and end this poll question and move on to number 11 here. So we've got which modeling technology is deprecated with BI 2025?
So is it IDT, UDT, and UNV calculation views, freehand SQL and Webby? IDT, UDT, and UNV calculation views, freehand SQL and Webby?
All right, gonna allow a few more moments for folks to answer. Right.
Absolutely. So what is deprecated with BI 2025? Come on, that should be a pretty slam and dunk one.
All right, looks like 84%, actually 85 now have said UDT and UNV.
Good. And I've put freehand SQL because there was a lot of misunderstanding on that. So, and I wanted to make sure people understood it was supported. So, okay. Was
All
that
right.
last question, Patrick, or is there one more?
Sure, we've actually got two more questions.
Okay.
If we want to do both, I've got number 12 right here, and it's do recipients need a BobJ license to open a Wiiisdom dashboard in a browser?
So, in your internet browser, so no, yes, viewer license, yes, designer license, or only for mobile devices. So essentially, you need a Bobj license to open a Wiiisdom. So can you share that with someone without a license? That's where it goes. So as we said, it was quite open for that. So that's one of the whole ideas of Wiiisdom.
All right. Perfect. Looks like we have 39 folks who've answered, and the majority of folks have said no.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a great advantage of Wiiisdom. And let's take the last question before we move on.
All right. Sounds good. Let's move on to the last question. All right. So, can you distribute dashboards with data to mobile phones in BI 2025?
Yes, no, only via SAP mobile app or only as images. So the whole idea again with Wix is that you can share it outside. So
All right, we're seeing a few answers come in, and it looks like the majority of attendees have said yes,
good, good.
with offline Wittix consumption supported.
Fair enough. Thank you very much.